People are not watching your financial failure. People, they don't care. And this is not because they are evil or something like that. This is just because they are taking care of their own lives. And this is not bad. Financial failure is just emotional if you make it emotional. And the act of making it emotional is the very thing that is going to many times keep you from resolving the problem. So, what nobody tells you about financial failure, it feels personal. It feels that it is something that explains who you are, but it doesn't. Let me give you an example. When I was starting in life, when I was starting to work, I started to take care of a small factory here in Brazil of wheels for gates, wheels, pulleys, and was my first experience working for myself. And I was really trying, really working hard, and many hours a day, many hours per week. In some weeks, 80 hours. So I was a hard worker. I was a young entrepreneur. I was trying to succeed. But what really happened with me at that moment was that I failed. And this was very hard on me. It was a very difficult moment. And I made it personal and emotional for me. But if you carry this load of the emotional pressure of dealing with this failure, you make it much more heavy to carry. It's harder, it's more difficult. So why we do that? I'm saying this. It's not like if I don't do it. I did it in the past. Nowadays I try not to do it. But I did it in the past. And in this opportunity that I'm telling you, I did it. Actually, I believe that there is a right way to do it. If you make it personal and emotional in the beginning of the process, when you were trying to resolve the problem in your mind, when you are creating the plan, then it's a good way. And you make it emotional, not in a manner that is going to diminish you. For example, in this circumstance that I am describing to you right now, I was, like I said, a hard worker. I was trying. I was using my intelligence in the best way that I could at that moment. I was trying. I was looking for help. I was trying to do everything. So emotionally, I was doing enough to feel okay in my inner self, to feel okay in myself. So, doing that, we remove the our personal emotional pressure. And this is the first insight here because we face two unnecessary pressures that are these: our own and from other people. All right. So the first insight is this: the thing that we are dealing with, the financial failure that we are dealing at this moment, it is emotional only if you make it emotional. It is going to tell something about you. Yes. For example, in that moment, what this failure was explaining about my reality. It was explaining that I was a young guy who was trying to succeed and who doesn't have enough information and who was learning and who was in the beginning of the process. You understand how, if you understand this reality, if you perceive this reality the way that I'm explaining for you, it makes things much more lighter for you to carry, because you are not less, you are just trying, and you are trying the right way. So we need to try to understand things the way they are, because this is the real way they are. Your financial failure is telling something about you, and is not telling that you are a failure. You are just passing through this experience. The financial part is just numbers, losses, debt, bad decisions, maybe. And all of those exist on paper, not on an emotional weight that you need to carry. So, this is the first thing. Now, about other people. People, they are not watching you fail because they are too busy living their own lives. In this situation that I passed through, I was ashamed of myself. I was always thinking, oh, what are they thinking about me? How I am going to show myself in the society? What I'm going to do? But with time, I learned that other people, they are living their own lives. And this is not bad. It's not that they don't care. It's just that life for each one of us is not easy. So you have to, life is hard enough for you to take care of your own life. It's difficult enough. You don't have to pay attention in other people's lives. So I suffered with that. The guys who I owed at that moment, who I have to pay, they were watching what was happening with me. But you are able to explain to them what is happening. Oh, I'm dealing with this. I'm going to pay you. It's going to take time, but I'm doing my best. This generates confidence because you are facing the problem with reality and you are trying to resolve it with your best effort. So, if you are worried with your family, with other people, don't worry about that, because you are worrying about that, it's keeping you from actually resolving the problem. Like I said, so this is the second insight here. The second insight is this, that other people, they don't care about you. And the third one, the most important, in my opinion, is this. If you avoid all this pressure, you are going to feel more free to deal with the actual problems that you need to resolve. You are going to feel, because imagine that, think about that. You have to work hard the entire day to pay the bills that you need to pay to resolve your financial situation. Imagine this, working hard with all the emotional weight of what you think and of what other people think. Or if you establish your plan and start to do what you have to do without carrying this weight, it's much easier. But we have to recognize this here. It is human to think about this, to think about your emotions, your financial failure as something personal and emotional, and to think about that, to think that other people are going to pay attention about what is happening in your life. So I'm not saying that you are not going to think about this and to feel this. What I'm saying is just that you are not going to carry it the entire day. You are not going to live your life every day carrying this load. Simple as that. You are going to deal with it in the beginning of the process. You are going to feel deeply, or better, deep inside of you, oh, what I want to do, how I want to show myself in the society, what really matters to me. You are going to realize all of that, and in this moment you are going to feel all of that, because this realization, this feeling that you are going to have in the beginning of the process is what is going to move you. It's what is going to give you the strength that you will need in the process. But when you are passing through the process itself, when you are facing the challenges of that you need to face in a daily basis, then you are not going to be dealing with these emotions in every moment, because you are doing what you need to do. You are dealing what you need to deal, and you are involved in the process. So these are the three insights: your personal emotional weight, other people emotional weight, they are not paying attention to you, and the momentum that you may lose if you are carrying all this weight. All right, my friends, this is all that I have for you today. Thank you all that are watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about this subject, and I see you in the next video.